Hey y'all, it's Mamaw. And this is a very, very important segment. I hope you all watch. Ever since that professional wrestling lady, Linda McMahon, said that we're no longer going to consider nurses and occupational therapists and physical therapists and respiratory therapists professionals, and so therefore they won't be able to get their nursing and stuff. We've had really a big problem trying to find nurses to take care of the taco. So after talking to Christy Nome, our play Barbie, dress up Barbie, she said she'd get me a nursing outfit, but she hasn't yet because she's got a lot of cosplay clothes. So Brainworm Man determined that we didn't need to have a whole lot to take care of the taco and his issues. So, since we don't need to be professionals, Mamaw has volunteered to be Taco's caregiver. Now, I have the complete Medicare guide, so Taco, we can make sure that you are properly covered with what you're allowed to have and whether we have to deal with any preconceived conditions and those kinds of things. I also have a copy of the book Where There Is No Doctor. Don't worry, I've read through it. If you have anything wrong, I'll just look it up in this book and I'll take care of you. The other thing I got is your thermometer so I can make sure that you're not running a fever. Now, some of the other troubles we have are starting your IV lines. I've noticed your bruises and stuff. Well, Taco, I just can't start an IV line because I'm not a professional, but I'll tell you what. Old Cletus down the street there in D.C., well, Cletus got thrown out of his rehab center because you no longer were paying with the Medicaid to get him cleaned up. But I'm telling you, that boy's so good with his heroin, he can just slip a needle in no problem. So I've got the wrap to put around your arm. And I couldn't find a smaller needle, but we got this one right here. So yeah, we'll just take care of that. And old Cletus will get your IV line started right away for me. So that's not a problem. So once we do all that, there's some other issues. We don't have any way of working with your respiratory therapist because they're not a professional anymore. But I talked to Marco Rubio and he can give you mouth-to-mouth respirations when your oxygen gets low. So we've got that covered. Now, the other problem we noticed, is you have a bit of a leakage problem. And nothing to be ashamed of. We all need to have help from time to time, and I'm assuming that you wear a male catheter. Well, we don't have access to that since I'm not a professional on how to put one in. But out here in Appalachia, we do what we call siphoning with gas. We take a little section of garden hose and you put it in there and you give it a old suck like that and drain your gas. Well, I talked to Petey Pie Hegseth, and old Petey Pie's going to take care of that for you when you got to, go to the bathroom. Petey Pie's going to siphon it off for you. I think it's something he's very comfortable with. It's not like he hasn't been there before, right? He's helped you out before. So we're going to do that. Now, I looked at your records, and I've got your first aid kit here. But I looked at your records, and I noticed that you have been treated several times for cranial rectal inversion. Well, I got to looking closer at you the other day, and I noted you didn't have cranial rectal inversion, but you dear appeared that you're going to need an anal craniotomy because I think I see J.D. Vance up there. But we can take him out. That's no problem. So we're going to prep you for that so we can get that taken care of. The big thing is you're going to need dressings changed and diapers changed. And that's beyond my purview because changing dressings and all that. And Melania said she didn't want any part of that at all. Well, guess what? Blondie paying Bondi, the protector of pedophiles. So that's no big deal to her. When she was out and about, she's used to changing diapers for any number of people, and she didn't mind because she's been cleaning up your messes for a long time. So everybody, I want you to stay salty about your health care. I want you to stay salty knowing that the professionals that have saved you or a lot of your family's lives are no longer considered professionals, but pro wrestling is. And I want you to call your congressmen and senators and tell them, no, by golly, we need our nurses. We need our health care providers because we don't need Mamaw taking care of us. Use your outdoor voice. And let's straighten this out. This is a bunch of bull crap.